Hi there. Quickly before the episode starts, I just want to let everyone know that this episode is sponsored by Muslim, Muzzmm. I'm pretty sure it's Muslim's how you say it. They specialize in backpacks, specifically travel backpacks. They do like 3-in-1 travel backpacks, shoulder bags, and duffel bags. Very cool, very nice quality. A lot of them have really cool designs too. So yeah, I would say give it a look if you're interested. If you're interested in traveling this summer, you need a good bag. This is a place to go. And if you want 10% off your purchase, you can use the code PAN, P-A-N, for 10% off. So thank you for sponsoring the episode. And yeah. All right. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Frying Pan Podcast. It's me. You know me. You've heard me a few times here and then. Probably 34 times if you're that dedicated, but if you're new, it's me, Daniel. And I'm here with a recurring friend. He's been here 34 times as well. You might recognize him.
Actually, 35 times if you want to get technical. Episode 0, only found on YouTube.
Shut it, dweeb. What's your name?
All right, sorry. I'm sorry. Wait, who are you again?
I'm Robert. What's your name?
I'm also Robert, Purified Drinking Water D'Onofrio. How's it going?
Very cool.
Yeah,
like Brita filter water?
I'm drinking this great value purified drinking water with flavored enhancing minerals from... I don't know what store this is from. Sponsored.
Not sponsored.
Sponsored by water.
Did you ever have friends that tried to make tier lists for water as if like different water brands tasted different?
Mm-hmm. Hell yeah. Do you think that all water tastes the same?
I mean, not enough to where I'd make a tier list on which tastes better.
Okay. So I have a theory on that, actually. Not like a theory. It's actually a pretty well-known thing. Like, people's taste buds obviously, like, range differently. Like, some people taste spice differently. You know what I mean? Like, people have a higher tolerance for spice, or...
Yes.
I think water's the same way, but it's so basic in terms of, like, a pH level that it's hard to actually taste the difference, which is obviously the case. But I think, like, most people, or not most people, a decent bit of people can taste the difference, and that's why it's such a big debate. Like,
I guess so.
Like, my favorite brand for, like, 10 years was Dasani, and then up until, like, 4 or 5 years ago, they went off the deep end. It tastes like tap water now. And then, Smart Water's always nice and consistent. If Smart Water's cold, like, cold, best drinking water, IMO. Below that is you got your Poland Spring, because that's basically the standard in my eyes, is Poland Spring. You know, it's not the best, it's not the worst. It's there. And then you got like Life Waters up and coming. That's pretty good.
Up and coming. See, I wish I could like, contribute anything to this, but I just never saw the point, because I always had a group of friends and they're like, dude, Poland Spring's the best, and we'll be like, no, Dasani's so much better, and I'm like, isn't it just water? And then I got like crucified for it. I don't know. Where does Fiji water stand? Is that top tier?
So for me, like, Fiji water is almost different depending on what time of year I have it. Because I feel like sometimes it tastes like fucking like pond water, and other times it's like the cleanest, most nourishing water I've ever drank. It's very hit or miss.
Depends what the weather's like in Fiji, I guess.
I mean, Voss water as well is, like, really good, like, every other 6 times I try it.
Nice. And this has been Bobby's Water Corner. If you want more content like this, please subscribe to him on Twitter.
Yeah. Subscribe?
I don't know. You know what I mean.
Subscribe to my premium Snapchat where you get all those damn water pics.
I don't know if you want to advertise that, but anyways. How are you doing today, brother?
I am doing okay. I pulled an all-nighter last night, accidentally.
Probably for the best. Reset your sleep schedule.
Yeah, well, I've been pulling all-nighters lately, so who knows what's gonna happen. But, no, what it was is, I was thinking, it was like 3 in the morning, and I was getting a little tired, and I was thinking to myself, I kind of want to read a book. So I went and cracked open a book that I read in the past, but never finished, because it occurred to me that the author never finished the trilogy. So I was like, fuck it, I'm not gonna finish it. The first one. But I said, screw it. I went back and started reading it. The book series is called Name the Wind by Patrick Rothfuss. And honestly, it's one of the best books I've ever written. Great world building, great author. He does a good job with characters. Anyways, that 3 a.m. turned into like 7:30 a.m. before I even knew it. Like, I looked up and I was like, the moon's really bright outside. And it was just the sun coming up. Or has come up. And I was like, oh shit. So I decided to just stay awake. And then, of course, around like 10:30, I was like, wow, I really want to die right now. I am so freaking tired. And, sorry?
Oh, I was just going to say, well, at that point, then it's just kind of like too late to go to sleep.
Exactly.
You're going to wake up at like 4 in the afternoon, and then you're just really fucked.
Yeah, then you're just gross. Yeah. You just feel gross. And so, to stave that off, I decided to just kind of pace around my house, essentially like a madman. Like, so I just started walking around and just like filling my time doing stuff. Like, I did a dish here, I don't know, wiped down a counter there. So I was like semi-productive. And then my dad called me, which is nice. He's up in Maine, so haven't got to see him much recently. So it's always nice talking to the guy. And we talked for like an hour on the phone, and I was just walking around my backyard while we did that. And after that, I felt perfectly awake. So that's leads me to about where I am now. So overall, not a bad day for the lack of sleep.
Very cool, Kanye.
Thank you. Speaking of, honestly, did you see that GIF I linked? I know this is pretty off topic, but tell me that's not insane.
I didn't see the GIF you link, and I can't look at it now.
The lightning.
Oh yeah, the lightning's cool.
That was like, so cool. Sorry, sidetracked.
So cool.
So cool. Anyways, how was your day, Dan?
It was good. It's another day in paradise, I'd say.
I love when people say that, because they usually mean it's not paradise.
Nah, I mean, I'm doing fine. I really can't complain. I'm just looking forward till next week, where I get Thursday and Friday off, because the 4th of July is conveniently on a Thursday.
Yeah, that's always nice, because if it's on a Wednesday, like it was on a Wednesday last year, right? I think so.
Yeah.
Then you're like, maybe you can take Thursday off, but you probably should go in for Friday.
Yeah, or you just don't really have a choice, and your boss is like, all right, you can get a half day Tuesday and Wednesday off, but you're coming back in Thursday and Friday, and I'm like, yeah, I get it, but come on, man.
Yeah, come on, man, just come on. Come on, cuz.
Come on, man. Why you gotta do that?
Yeah, I feel that.
Overall, I'm good. I really can't complain about anything.
Well, that's good. Can I complain about anything right now? I can complain about this mugginess that's dawned over our state.
Yeah, Connecticut's turning into a big old swamp, as it does every summer, and I just love it. Every single year, I just question why I still live here, and then I realize I can't actually move.
That's fair. But I will say, Saturday was pretty beautiful over the weekend. You know, if we're talking about, like, beautiful weather, Saturday, I think, was one of the nicest days we've probably had since it started getting hot.
Oh, yeah, Saturday was perfect. It was nice little breeze, 70, sunny.
Yeah.
Played soccer for like 3-4 hours. It was great.
Yeah, I mean, I was locked in the sweatshop, but every time I walked outside, it was nice.
Yeah. Yeah, that's always a tragedy.
Yeah. But hey, gotta get that bread, baby.
I feel that. Speaking of getting bread, do you want to jump into some topics? Because I got a bread maker to start.
All right, lay it on me. I was like trying to figure out where that segue was going, so lay it on me, Dad.
Marvel decided we haven't made enough money yet, so Endgame is coming back to theaters and select theaters with some deleted scenes and something with the Russo's brother, like as an introduction.
Let me tell you, Marvel. I'm hitting my desk with my fist. I probably shouldn't do that.
I'd prefer if you didn't.
Let me tell you something, Marvel. I'm also like on top of my mic. If you think I will go and spend $15 on a movie ticket just to see Avengers Endgame again because you added a few measly little scenes, you're perfectly fucking right. Like,
Yes.
honestly, standard move, amazing play, checkmate. You got my money already. Like, all they had to say was they added some deleted scenes and then a post-credit scene. Like, literally, and I was like, okay. Like, I would have gone just for the post-credit scene.
I mean, they literally could have just said, "Hey, we're bringing Endgames back to theater. We're actually taking out half of the movie," and I've been like, "Yeah, I'm still around."
I mean, honestly, yeah, probably our whole friends group would be like, let's squad up and go!
I mean, yeah, I'm around, clown. Of
Oh,
course, I'm gonna go to that.
of course. What I find interesting, or what I'm like really excited about, is apparently the Russo brothers like have their own like introduction thing that they are doing, like where they talk about whatever.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to say in the introduction, but I didn't remember exactly what it was.
Yeah, like it's their I guess they are just giving their own like introduction to the film where it's like a director's cut, I imagine.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm excited for that. Oh, and also included in that is is a special sneak peek to Spider-Man Far From Home that hits theaters July 2nd or so.
July 2nd. Yeah, it's next week.
Yeah, so get to see a little deleted scene not deleted scene, sneak peek to that, but I'll be seeing it anyways.
Exactly. I'm very excited. Does it still count, like, if it makes more money from this, does it still count to them being possibly the number one highest grossing movie?
I'm not 100% sure like how the box office numbers work because like does that include like DVD purchases or something like that? Like I guess if it's in theaters, probably yeah. Probably if it's in
Yeah,
theaters, they probably could.
it's just box offices, yeah, just like ticket sales and jazz of that nature.
Someone over at Marvel was like, "Hey, we almost beat Avatar." They're like, "All right, let's brainstorm. What could we do? Put out the movie, deleted scenes." But that's what we say for DVDs. But box office.
Exactly. I mean, I think or Endgame is deserving to be the number one grossing movie.
Oh, of course, it definitely has the fandom. It had the hype. It had everything. It honestly, I think the only reason why it didn't is because like Avatar. The reason why I think that like grossed so much money is because of the 3D aspect of the movie. Because that was like at the time where 3D was still cool and people didn't like hate it.
Well, yeah, that was also like innovative because that was like one of the first movies where 3D actually enhanced it.
Yeah, it wasn't like Shark Boy and Lava Girl type of shit. Actually, that
Which,
3D was a bangerang. Not gonna lie.
I'm gonna say a fat debatable if I go to watch it nowadays, but yeah, back
Oh yeah,
then probably.
watching those bubbles float at me from Taylor Lautner. Ugh, amazing.
God, throw more bubbles at me, Taylor, please.
He was like 14 then.
Well, now he's not, so
Truth be told. Anyways, so yeah, I feel like that's like played a big part into Avatar because a lot of people just had to go see Avatar just to have that 3D experience.
my only thing with Avatar is I feel like as a movie itself, I don't remember anything from it. Just the fact that there was blue people. Like I don't remember the main character's name.
Jake Sully.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Okay. I only remembered Sully, but because of the dude that landed the plane in the ocean.
That's fair. That's very fair.
As if him landing a plane in the ocean has ties to the blue people.
Hey man, whatever helps you remember, right?
I
But
guess.
like I feel like it like definitely like I agree it's definitely not that rememberable, but not because it wasn't good, but because it was such an experience that's hard to even recall without seeing it.
Yeah, like it was a good movie. Don't get me wrong by any means. I don't know. I don't think it should still be the number one grossing movie. Like I'm just amazed that something hasn't come out to overtake that yet.
I mean, like what has as much going for it as Avatar besides Endgame now?
Pendleton or what's the bear one?
Bear?
I think it's no, I don't remember. I think it's like Pendleton or something. It's like a detective bear. I think Curious George movie has come out.
Okay, so that aside, like, I mean, okay, if you go on a roller coaster, say you love roller coasters, do you remember every loop and turn, or do you just say like, "Damn, that roller coaster was lit. That was great. I loved the experience." I feel like Avatar is the same way. You just know that you love the experience.
You know, I respect that argument, but comparing the roller coaster that's over within a couple minutes to Avatar, which is like a 3 hour long fucking movie.
Yeah, it's 3 hour roller coaster, my man. You're along for the
That
ride.
sounds awful. That sounds absolutely terrible.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I feel like I've talked about this on the podcast before, but Avatar was such an intense movie that people actually were clinically diagnosed with a form of depression when the realization that the movie was over hit. Like, it's not a joke. Like, that actually happened.
I feel like that also just happens with like shows too, though.
Well, but like, this was like a serious case, though. Well, I mean, it was like the first serious case that caught media attention because, like, it wasn't just like those basement dweller kids that were having trouble with it. Like, it was like genuine, like, adults just like, bro, what, this experience is over, you know, type of stuff.
Yeah.
But anyways, so Endgame, you're coming back, and you're taking my money yet again. But I'll gladly give it.
I guess we can look forward to a sequel of Avatar when it comes out in like 2088.
God, I'm so sad they delayed it again. But at the same time, like, hey, if it's another 3 hour bangarang of a movie, I understand.
Exactly. Well, we'll live through it. But yeah, Endgame come back. Definitely excited. Hopefully it's actually near or at a theater near us. Yeah, select theaters. They haven't said which ones yet, but the thing is, I thought it was supposed. They mentioned something about the date being like June 28th, but I haven't seen anything on like which theaters are carrying it. I don't know.
Huh.
Je ne sais pas.
Je ne sais pas. J'ai télé mes crayons.
Moving forward, is how I will respond to you.
Merci.
This one's good for you, Bobby, as someone who's going to college. You ready?
Yeah, college, yeah.
Yeah, something like that. Big Boy Bernie unveils that he's trying to cut all student loan debt.
I'm sorry. I hope he always introduces himself as Big Boy Bernie.
Would you prefer Big Boy Bernie or Walking Corpse Sanders? Which sounds better to you?
Sandbag Sanders.
Body bag Bernie.
No, God.
But like, I love this. In theory, this is like, I don't know, the cream of the crop. This is as good as it gets, but I don't think you can realistically pull this off.
Okay, so the thing is about this, it's like, gosh, I'm pulling this kind of out of my ass because it's been so long since I've like read up on the subject. But like, student loan debt theoretically is non-existent debt. Like it's like the country's debt to itself, essentially.
Yeah, I mean, granted, we have a lot of things that work that way too.
But like, the thing is, like, student loan debt is so grossly overbearing that it like impedes money flow from other places where it would be more valuable. So like, that's why it's a big, like, basically Bernie Sanders is trying to cancel out all $1.6 trillion of student loan debt.
Yeah.
And his plans to do that by taxing Wall Street, which kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
Because, you know, he did make that case where Wall Street had all those, like, loans and stuff, and I don't think they've paid back most of it. But I'm not an economics major or a student or of the sort, so I couldn't make a full case for it in general, if it's a good idea or a bad idea. I mean, I think it's a better idea than free college for our country currently.
Yeah, I mean, the one thing I always find interesting about Bernie is he's very like for the millennials and like for our future, which like I love, but a lot of people our age don't think voting is that important. So it's, I don't know, it's like speaking to a brick wall sometimes for him. Like, he has good intentions. I respect what he's trying to do, but a lot of it doesn't really seem too feasible, and I don't think he'd ever get into office to implement these things because the people voting for him don't give a fuck about the kids.
I don't know. I wouldn't necessarily say that. Like, his case for millennials, really, like, he had a quote, it might be even in this article, where he's saying, for the first time in America's history, the younger generations are at a greater disadvantage than the older ones. Like we've always had a trend of the kids of our parent or like our parents' parents, like basically the older generation leaving off in a better state than they were before, financially speaking.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not been the case, obviously, for our generation, because fucking sucks. You know, he was saying like he would like our generation to be able to purchase the houses that we want to purchase and basically not have to be labor slaves type of deal. And I feel like that
Yeah.
should be appealing to everybody. And it's not like people say like, oh, he seems unrealistic with that. I feel like that type of negativity is only because we're like trying to set in stone in our heads that we're just fucked in general. And there's no way out. Because in reality, as a country, we can probably solve a lot if we actually decide to work together on things.
Yeah, but see, like I don't want to be like a negative person. I'm more or less just trying to play devil's advocate to that. It's just you can't really convince everyone to come together on a common goal because everyone has different perspectives on what's the best way to do it, or they just don't agree with it at all.
But that's why you go for the most logical and most beneficial thing. The most beneficial thing is just making sure that our generation, as we come into quote power, we're just not fucked even more, so our kids are fucked even more. Like that's the main thing. Like moving, like not even talking about like climate change. Like we need to make sure that, or I respect him because he's trying to make sure that when we inherit the country completely, we're not in a state where we're just rapidly going downhill and there's no way of going up. He's trying everything. I feel like he's trying his hardest to at least make sure that we have a fighting chance. And I respect that. And like you said, I'm not sure how realistic it is. I'm not a politician, nor do I know the numbers like the back of my hand. I like his ideas. That's all I know. And if I could help that in any way, I would, because I like his ideas, and I feel like that's kind of our only option left.
I wouldn't say our only option left.
I mean, hey, do you want to move out of the country?
Yeah, kinda.
Exactly. That shouldn't be the case.
Yeah, I don't know. There's some places. Oh, like I can go to Canada. I can get free healthcare. I can go
Exactly.
to.
So, like, the thing is you would like to move out of America because other places are better. 60 years ago, people wanted to move to America because it was better. Make sense? Like, that's the problem we're currently having.
Yeah, no, I'm well aware.
It's just, it kind of sucks overall because I feel like as a generation, we're just not educated enough on that kind of stuff in general to, like, kind of like you said, like, we don't care that much about voting.
Yeah, which is sad.
And
I was gonna say I don't know if it's that we just don't know enough or don't care to learn.
I don't know. It's kind of like hand in hand, really, because I feel like when we do get up in arms about voting, like the Trump and Hillary election, I know almost all my peers that were into it were more or less only voting purely because they A, didn't want Trump to win, or B, didn't want Hillary to win.
Yeah, it was literally just the best of two evils at that point.
Exactly, like
in everyone's eyes.
Exactly. It wasn't because their policies were better or anything like that. It was a popularity contest. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
I feel like that's why people have such a negative outlook on Bernie Sanders' ideas, is because they're trying to like spin it so like it is a popularity contest for this time again. But
Yeah.
I mean, the thing is, his plan seems like it could work because he's not overly taxing Wall Street either. That would kill the market. It's literally like 5 cents on every $100 in Wall Street.
Yeah, and with the amount of money that comes from that, it'll definitely add up over time.
Or it's 50 cents on every $100. Sorry.
Yeah.
It's a 1% fee on bonds and like a 0.00 or 0.005% on derivatives.
Yeah.
Not a lot.
But exactly. I mean, the nice thing about it is I don't see anyone up in arms about his like the way he wants to do it, or obviously just like the idea in general.
Well, I mean, people are obviously there's going to be the corporate America. People are going to come out and be like, "Hey, what the hell, man? That's taking our money. We want more of it. Fuck you guys." But
Yeah,
I feel like
literally.
as a nation, we just have to turn to corporate America. Just be like, "Hey, fuck you guys for a while, so we get our shit straight."
Yeah, that's it. It's a big yeehaw.
Yeah,
you know
of
what I mean?
course.
big rodeo.
What's cool is he believes his plan could raise more than $2.4 trillion in the next 10 years. That's a pretty good turnaround for that.
Yeah. Good job, Bernie.
Yeah, good
Hopefully,
job.
hopefully you make it till then.
And I like the whole like his quotes from on the subject of forgiving debt. I'm gonna read some of his quotes. He goes, "We're going to forgive student debt in this country. We have, for the first time in modern history of this country, a younger generation that if we don't change it, and we intend to change it, will have a lower standard of living than their parents, more in debt, lower wages than their parents, unable to buy the house they desire." And then he goes on to say something to the tone of like, we shouldn't be punishing our generation for doing what they should be doing, and that is pursuing a higher education. Which I think is a pretty powerful way of speaking, because that's the truth. It's an undeniable truth.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Like, if you argue against that, you're kind of just a bad human being.
It's a bit far.
Not,
Or I'd just say
not really.
close-minded.
I mean, would you... Okay, yeah, but... I don't know. You're basically just saying fuck poor people.
Yeah,
I've been dropping a lot of F-bombs on this episode. I'm sorry, folks.
it's all good. There's one thing that I do want to bring up, and you're not too well versed in this, but you know Dwayne The Rock Johnson, right?
The president? I mean, sorry. That was just my fantasy the other night.
Sorry, future president.
Yeah, that guy from Fast and the Furious 7 through 9? I don't know. I'm trying to pull it out of nowhere. But yeah, The Rock.
No, it's all good. All right. This one, all right, it's not a story or anything, but this is I have a gripe with The Rock.
Doesn't sound like someone you'd want to pick a bone with, my friend.
I mean, I'm not picking a bone with, I'm just trying to understand.
You want to fight The Rock. I get it.
Dude, I'd love to fight The Rock. I'd love a nice little sparring with The Rock. I'd love for him to just fucking punch my face in to where I go back in time. But every Sunday he posts like a cheat meal, and it'll be something just way too, because he posted I feel like he's trying to like relate to people, like, hey guys, I know I'm like 6'8", 300 pounds of pure muscle. I can have cheat meals too, but his cheat meal are like fucking 2 whole birthday cakes stuffed between 2 giant chocolate chip cookies smothered in peanut butter. Like, it's something just absolutely ridiculous that nobody could eat, and it's like, it just feels like he's flexing on me all the time, and I'm like, Dwayne, please.
Well, I mean, okay, to that note, I mean, like, professional athletes eat a lot of calories. Like, doesn't Michael Phelps eat like 7,000 calories a day to maintain his figure?
Yeah, obviously, you gotta...
I'm sure with the amount of work he does, he could at least somewhat burn it, right?
I mean, yeah, obviously he burns it off. It's just the fact that it's like, he eats it, or he posts it, and it's just kind of like, it's like your dad, or like a old dad trying to relate to his kids by like playing Fortnite or something.
Okay, that's
like,
fair.
Hey,
okay, I kind of get where you're going with that, yeah. I mean, to be fair, what other kind of like media presences, like social media presences, The Rock gonna have between like showing off his weights and his cheat meals?
He's got his brand deals. He's still attractive. He's got his family. He's got his roles.
Yeah, but I mean, like you said, like he's an older gentleman on social media. You know, I'm kind of glad at least it's limited to his cheat meals.
I don't know if I'd say he's older. I think he's like mid-30s, right?
I'm sorry. What?
The Rock's not that old.
He's 47, my friend.
He's 47? Fuck, you're right. I mean, okay, 47's not that old, but like...
Well, it's my dad's
I wouldn't
age.
have guessed... Yeah, I wouldn't have guessed 47. I would have thought like...
Have you seen
mid-30s.
those pictures of the young Rock, bro? That's clearly he was like 20 in the 80s at least.
Dude, I know, but it's like, he's done so much shit that I never know how old he is, because it was like, he was in the WWE, and I was like, oh, what was he, like fucking 10 during that?
You know, honestly, that's true. Because he pretty much looks like a evolved version of himself every like 15 years or so.
Oh yeah, it's actually fucking insane.
Very much so. Like, so what are the kind of things like that he cheats with?
Like he normally he gets like these really big cookies that are the size of like frisbees, and he'll get like a whole jar of peanut butter. He'll empty it out on the cookies to make like a peanut butter chocolate chip cookie sandwich.
That sounds
And I'm like,
unappetizing.
It looks really fucking good. but it's just the fact that it's the size of like 7 newborn children.
So, like, it's like a cookie, like the size of my head. You're saying?
Yeah, it's like if he threw it in the air, it would probably be shot down because it's like a UFO. Like it. I don't know.
Jesus.
It looks like he's just taking a bite out of a flying saucer, and it's just like, you know what, Rock? I respect it, and no way am I annoyed by this, but it's just like you got to stop flexing on me all the time because I'm never gonna get to this point.
You're just jealous that you can't have cheat days like that, essentially.
Yes,
Right.
essentially yes.
Don't you?
My cheat day is like I got my chicken, I got like fucking Reese's peanut butter cups, and I'm like, nice, this is it. And the Rock's like,
Dan eats
look at
dino
me.
nuggies and a bag of smart food on his cheat day.
Yes, deadass. And then he eats the whole fucking smart food factory, and then he eats 7 live chicken. And I'm like, first off, Dwayne, that's unethical and kind of alarming. But
Jesus. The only thing I've seen him actually like that I've seen of his cheat day stuff is he really likes pancakes, and I respect the hell out of it.
yeah, oh, that was another thing. He's got like the Leaning Tower of flapjacks.
God, it. The thing is that it looks small next to him, but I know in reality that shit's probably like a foot high.
I know it's actually probably bigger than a foot, I'd imagine.
Like
It's
off
nuts.
I'm looking at his Instagram now. He had like a sushi cheat day as well. There's no way you're eating that much sushi and your stomach's not dead.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, it looks like a whole like he just ordered out a restaurant.
For real,
Like,
like
hey, how
his
much? How
his
much
stomach's
sushi you
gotta be
guys
lined
got?
with iron, dude. It's gotta be.
Oh, probably. Well, I don't know. If you've ever heard of like his actual diet, it's disgusting for like a normal person.
What? Why? What's it like?
Um, it's like 7 square meals a day, and it'll be like chicken, rice, broccoli, and he'll eat that like twice a day. Then he'll eat like steak, rice, and something else. Then he'll eat like fish 2 times a day. Like he'll 7 like full course meals a day, basically.
Jeez. Oh, I guess he does have to maintain that like bodybuilder figure, but like
Well, yeah,
Jesus.
like it makes sense for him, but like for a normal person, like it's a challenge to try and eat his diet in a day and not
Yeah,
throw up.
yeah. I that makes a lot of sense. Holy shit. How many meals realistically do you think you could eat? Like, I feel like everyone can maybe get through one day, but how many days do you think you could last on the Rock's diet? Like, I think I could probably get through
0.
like three, maybe.
No, 0. Like if you had to eat everything he ate in a day, there's no way.
Really? Like that much food?
Yeah, well, because it's just all carbs,
I
and
guess
it's
that's
just gonna
fair.
keep building up.
Yeah, it's not like I'm burning it off or anything, huh?
Yeah, and even if you do burn it off, you'd have to do either like 3 workouts a day or
That's true.
like light your stomach on fire. I don't
Jeez.
know.
You know, they should do a video, like Vice, the YouTube channel Vice or whatever that does that like reality type of YouTube, where they just
Yeah.
follow The Rock in the day of his life and just go through all that he does from eating to
I
working out.
I'm pretty sure there is a video out there. I don't know who would be by, but I'm pretty sure that's a thing already.
I'll have to go and look into that.
Maybe. But yeah, that's my only gripe. I think I'm just jealous and I'm just coming to terms with it, but
I
I'll
don't
get
know. I'm
over it.
hearing that you're trying to challenge The Rock to a cage fight where one man enters and definitely, or wait, two men enter and definitely one man leaves.
Yeah, all right, Dwayne, I know you're listening to this, and I know we're good friends, and you can text me how you feel about this. I want, we dig a giant hole, and we're both in the pit, and we each have to climb, only one person's able to climb out. The only way they climb out is by killing the other person. And we get a choice of 3 different weapons, and yeah, for whoever lives, lives. Whoever dies, dies.
I'm
It's
gonna
just
be
kind of how it
honest.
goes.
I don't think. I think The Rock is pervious to most weapons. Like bullets bounce off him.
Yeah,
Sharp objects get stuck in his muscle tissue. Doesn't do damage.
yeah. Do you think, I probably need like a giant hammer, you know what I'm saying?
Or
Like a
like,
comedically large hammer.
or like a flamethrower.
Yeah. Cuz it'll no, he's probably immune to fire too now that I'm thinking about it.
You're right. It's not like he's got hair to burn anyways. Besides his eyebrows, he'll just come
True.
out here
Oh,
looking.
maybe electricity's the key cuz
Ooh,
I'd imagine he's just made of metal. So,
you're right.
no, then he just conducts it.
Oh, but unless he's titanium, in that case, it just won't affect him at all.
That's true. Maybe I need like acid.
God. Oh shit.
My weapon is just like a bucket of acid, and if I miss, then it's like, oh fuck.
You were hyped for Bieber versus Cruz, but get ready for Sear versus Johnson.
This Sunday, be there.
Be there or don't.
Be square.
You know, it took me forever. I feel like I've talked about this on the show, but it took me forever to realize like be there or be square is because you're not around. Like, makes sense. Like,
Yeah, the first time I heard that, it was mind blowing to me.
yeah, this was like a year ago for me that I figured that out, and I was like so blown away that I've been using that saying so haphazardly all of my life.
What the fuck? That's what it means?
For real, dude. I felt like my life was shaken up.
I feel that. Um,
It's whack.
yeah,
Gosh,
that's all I got on the rock.
I'm looking at all his cheat meals now, and I'm absolutely starving. And it looks like my man likes pineapple on his pizza, so guess I am in love with The Rock.
Heathen, absolute heathen, but we'll
Dude,
get into that.
pineapple belongs
Nope,
on
we're not getting
pizza.
into it. We're not getting into it.
Why not? Why not?
We're not getting into it. We don't need to.
It's the perfect combination of sweet, sour, and
No,
salty.
there's other pressing matters. We're not getting into pineapple on pizza now.
You know what? Follow me on Twitter for a rant that I'll post about this. Pineapple belongs on pizza, and if you think otherwise, you're uncultured and your palate sucks.
That's a bold claim. You got any topics?
Do I have any topics? Well, you see, I had a segue in mind, but I completely forgot it because I got on that rant. So I'm just gonna go to my usual topic of marijuana, because why not?
That's you.
No, what I actually want to talk about pertinent to that is the Senate in New York decriminalized marijuana use in New York State. Now,
Oh,
not
interesting.
legalized, decriminalized. There's a difference. Essentially what it is it makes it so if you are found in possession of marijuana under an ounce in New York State, you are literally given a fine of $50. 50. Not a lot of money. If it's over an ounce, only 200. That is it. And
200.
well, what's instated with that is that's really cool is that they're also implementing almost an appeal process where you can get past, future, or present marijuana charges dropped off your record, or pretty much make them expunged. I guess is the better way to say that.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, that's a big deal because in New York State, there is so many minority cases where they're prosecuted for just simple things as marijuana possession that boosts so much inequality between races because that stems from that. Because in New York State, it was a crime, so that means you were convicted, which means you were some form of criminal, which means like it kind of limits your job opportunities depending on the establishment, a whole bunch of shit. So basically, it means that New York, which obviously is home to a lot of different minority groups of all groups and sizes, anyways, it'll help them get on a track to where they won't be prosecuted and have their record fixed from something that shouldn't have been a problem in the first place. Which I think is just really freaking cool. Because when this bill passed, like, they were, like, dead set on the whole, like, these people should not have been prosecuted in the way they did. It's unfair treatment. We're fixing this. And it seemed like they were on board from the get-go. And that's
Fairness.
really cool to me.
Hey, I mean, the whole people getting locked up for life because of like 2 ounces of marijuana is actually baffling to me. So any like reform in this towards like, hey, we are realizing that it's fucking stupid is nice to hear, no matter what it is.
And you know what's kind of interesting though, because this is a decriminalization bill, not a legalization bill. They added marijuana to the definition of smoking under the public health law, so that smoking marijuana will be prohibited in any circumstance where smoking tobacco is prohibited.
Oh, interesting.
So that's kind of interesting in itself.
I mean, to be fair, I don't really like the smell of marijuana, so whenever I smell it, it always just kind of like gives me a little smack on the face.
Well, like, prohibited is like saying, like, if you can't smoke cigarettes in that place, you can't smoke marijuana. The only point I was trying to make is that, like, I figured that was pretty interesting considering, like, this isn't a legalization bill, but they already saying, like, this bill was essentially just the springboard to get it legalized in the state.
Yeah, I
which is
mean,
interesting because, sorry, I don't mean to cut you off here. What were you going to say?
no, no, keep going.
Well, what's interesting is that New Jersey, who is like home to like the strictest laws on most things, usually leans whatever way New York does on certain matters, such as marijuana legalization. So if New York gets on board, then New Jersey gets on board. And because New Jersey has that reputation of being so strict, usually places around that crumble as well.
Interesting.
So that's pretty cool. And I'm honestly I got so hyped about this just because they have that plan to have those record expunsions. Like they're talking about like excuse me, like these expunsions, like the appeal process, like it doesn't have to be that active. It's a fast one. It's like it's not a laborious process. Is at least from this article what it seems to be. They're not making it hard to do, which is the cool part because like it's one thing that they could say that you can appeal this process, but actually having it done is another.
Yeah.
So it seems like this could actually work and work fast as well, which is pretty sweet.
Oh, we're on the right track, it seems.
Yeah, honestly, I just hate the idea of people getting locked up for things that they shouldn't be getting locked up for. You know, there's a lot of crime out in the world, and I don't think marijuana possession should be among them.
It just feels very petty, especially to the
Yeah,
extent that people get locked up for.
yeah, exactly. I mean, that whole war on drug thing should have stopped. Like, it shouldn't have pertained to marijuana in the first place. But we don't have to go into that because that's a huge debate in itself.
Yeah, I guess it's all about perspective.
Of course. But speaking of felony charges, so Cardi B has been indicted on felony charges in connection with a strip club attack. Not connected to the one from when she was a stripper, but this is a different case.
Oh, I haven't heard anything about this actually.
So back in I think January or something of the sort,
August 2018.
or no April I think actually, she rejected a plea deal back in April, which now led to her court records indic- uh, ind- indicate that Cardi B is due for the 25th, which is already passed, which now led us to this current headline that Cardi B is indicted on felony charges with a connection to the strip club attack. And you're wondering, what is the strip club attack? You've never heard of it. Well, the alleged attack basically is that Cardi B like sicked her goons on, I think, like a strip club owner or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's you can find another article linking to this from I forget the date, but I'll just read you the headline from back in October. Cardi B has turned herself into the police after allegedly ordering an attack on a strip club in August. She has been charged with 2 misdemeanor counts of reckless endangerment and 1 misdemeanor count of assault. And that led us to today, where she's been indicted. Or not, as of 3 days ago, indicted.
I like that in this article it says that Cardi B ordered her associates to attack them with bottles and chairs, and it just makes me think like she specified, hey, go fuck those dudes up, but make sure you use bottles and chairs.
I could see bottles. Chairs, though?
Yeah,
But,
I mean, I imagine her associates are probably like big goons, so
oh yeah,
they're
the
just
Goody
probably
Goons,
picking
the
up chairs.
Goonies.
Yeah, it's probably just picking up chairs and throwing them left and right.
So, a little callback. Remember when you were saying Cardi B could have changed? She shouldn't have gotten that heat for the whole thing in her past?
Yeah.
Well, still looks like she kinda sucks. Mm.
Yeah. To be honest, I don't care too much.
Well, I just wanted to point that out. Just not because, of course, like it sucks that, someone this famous does something so petty like this, but I find it more or less interesting just because she was already in the news for being a kind of a bad person in the past. Now she's in it again for currently being a bad person, even more.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to say this is like her personality, but she's kind of, I feel like she's just a person that like no matter what happens to her, like how famous she gets, she's not going to change for people.
But see, back in our episode when we talked about her in the past, you were saying the exact opposite. Now,
Hmm?
when we talked about Cardi B with the sexual assault thing, where she like drugged men and robbed them, you were saying that she could change, or she has changed, or she could have changed. It's in her past. I don't know. I went back and listened to that section just for this, just because it's kind of like a reoccurring case.
Oh,
Doesn't
well,
really matter.
shame on me, I guess. You're just trying to throw me under the bus, Bobby. I get it. Sorry, I'm a shit person. My
Not
bad.
really. I was just more or
No,
less.
no. I get it. Like, I get it.
All right. Hey.
No, like, yeah, like, I get it.
No. Lay off your mic.
No. Like,
no, you're
like, I get
bottoming out. You're bottoming out.
I know.
But no, it
It's
was more or
cool.
less because I wanted to like think what our opinions were on it, because I know you were pretty much like she could change, and I was like, she's probably not. But also I was thinking like I was trying to, because I think we both had the consensus though that she is probably not going to do anything like that ever again. So we were both wrong on that aspect. But
Yeah, I'd have to go back and listen because I don't remember what I said.
yeah, and I feel like more or less you were just playing the devil's advocate though, just because I was pretty anti Cardi B.
Yeah.
More
I
often
mean-
than not, I feel like if you are being negative on something or the complete opposite, it's probably just devil's advocate for the sake of the conversation. That's perfectly fine.
Usually. But yeah, you're right.
As good hosts do.
Eat younger.
Eat. Well, I don't think we've let one of those fly on our episodes yet.
No, I don't think so either. Should I bleep it out to make people think that it was something bad?
Oh, I hope so. Please, for the love of God, bleep it out. I
don't know.
Shit.
It's like stuff like this is just so petty, and like
Yeah,
all
it
celebrities
sucks.
do it, and it's just like, just you're not hot shit. Like you're doing cool things, but like doesn't give you the right to be an asshole.
And I mean, it's a strip club. Why the hell is she having a problem with a strip club, anyways?
But I could see a lot of reasons why you'd have an issue with a strip club.
I mean, but like, she clearly acknowledged that she was in the vault because she turned herself in. So like, was she just like, "Yo, this place didn't let me turn up"? I don't know. Like, I actually have no freaking clue what could have been the issue.
Well, I guess it was against two bartenders, so they could have like made some comments, or they're just being assholes
All right,
in
that's
her
fair.
eyes.
That's fair.
And again, I wasn't at the strip club, nor would I want to be at the strip club.
Yeah, I think like kid me thought as soon as I turned 18/21, I would go to a strip club and like have my first strip club experience as a man. Yeah, I haven't had the desire to whatsoever.
No, I don't know. For me, as personally, it just make me uncomfortable.
It makes me sad to
Ne-
like I know like there's some strippers that like like what they do and they think it gives them like a body positive image or whatever. I personally get sad when I see that kind of stuff.
I don't get sad. I just don't want to get cooties. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay. Well, I mean that's fair. That's fair. Yeah.
yeah. Valid argument. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought the same thing back in 5th grade, so that's why I didn't go to strip clubs
Yeah.
as well
As a fifth grader.
as a 5th grader.
Yes.
Yeah,
I'm
I still had the beard in 5th grade, so they probably wouldn't have carded me.
I wouldn't have been surprised. What was I gonna say?
Came out of the womb with it.
Yeah. Dead ass.
Oh, I can't wait to shave this all off and just look like a freaking pinball.
Yeah, pinball's accurate, or just like a baby.
A baby with scruff.
Yep, a very large hairy baby.
Yeah, a baby until you look like past my neck and down to my chest, and you're like, oh, gorilla.
Like, oh, what the fuck is that?
It's a gorilla with a shaved head.
Hate to see it. You hate to see it. You got any other funny things for me, Bob? You got any good topics for me?
Well, apparently there's that Pokemon thing that you were telling me about, if you want to talk about that.
Oh yes, there's a hip new trend to it's called Pokemon Fusion, where it takes two Pokemon, puts them together. Some of the results are terrifying. Some of them are interesting.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
I don't know much about Pokemon, but thankfully the two Pokemon I got, I knew. One of them being Goldeen, which is a goldfish type Pokemon looking motherfucker to anyone who doesn't know. Not the floppy one, but the angelic looking one. And Mewtwo.
Oh?
And it looks absolutely disgusting.
Oh golly, what's the name for it?
It is called Mewdeen.
Oh, that's interesting. See, I got Butterfree and Jigglypuff and got Butterpuff.
Butter.
And it is Jigglypuff's body with Butterfree's face, so it's like a giant puff ball with bug eyes, and that is just terrifying.
Oh no, I just clicked the random button again, and I got Clefable and Lickitung, and let me tell you, Cleftung is absolutely nightmare fuel.
Yeah, some of them are creepy, some of them are just awful. Like one of them is it was like muck and something else, and it was literally just called cum, and it was actually disgusting.
Jeez. Oh, wait a minute. This thing looks like frickin' Dr. Zoidberg had a thing with a squid. It's Omatails.
Oh, I don't like that either. Yes, I recommend going on. It's just, if you just Google Pokemon Fusion, it's the first thing. And even if you're not into Pokemon, some of the things you get are just terrifying.
Yeah, I think my new thing is enjoying when I get a bug Pokemon crossed with like a fish, because that thing looks wild.
These ones, they're fucked. Alright, I gotta stop. Yeah, I'm tired of looking at
Yeah.
these fucking things.
Dude, I can't look. I got fire like chimp looking motherfucker and lick a tongue again.
You hate to see it.
Oh god. Oh no, Drowsy and Charmander. Charzy.
Ugh! Charizard's does not sound good.
Oh god. I'm gonna tell you what I think it looks like afterwards because I can't say it on our show because we're totally family friendly. But
We are not fucking family friendly at all.
yeah, but I'm gonna have to say it's gonna kind of fucked. Alright, I'm gonna say it anyways. It's like
Yep.
if Charizard had Down syndrome.
Yeah, I see that, and I understand entirely.
And I mean,
It's okay.
no offense to anyone with Downs or anyone that knows anyone with Down syndrome. It's just what it looks like, and I'm an honest man. I'm sorry.
Sometimes, Bobby, you just gotta own up to it. Don't apologize for what you think.
I'm fucked up in the head, folks. I'm deranged. I'm getting locked away. I'm sorry. Moving on from
Possibly.
PokeFusion.
Thank God.
But honestly, I can't stop clicking the random button. I gotta close the website.
Do that. Yeah, I had to do the same.
So my final topic is from there was an EA hearing in the UK about loot boxes, and guess what they said?
Hit me.
They're not loot boxes. They're surprise mechanics, and they're quite ethical.
Mm-hmm.
Surprise mechanics. That's a very good way of saying go fuck yourself. They're definitely loot boxes.
Yeah, that's I think that is the best legal way to say no. They're not loot boxes. You idiot.
Surprise
The fuck you think
mechanics. Like, yeah, and this I watched the like the YouTube highlight of the hearing, so we'll link
Mhm.
that because I recommend it. The articles on it kind of sucked because they kind of just latched on to specific quotes, not really what they were actually talking about. Essentially, like the articles I saw on the subject, their main goal was just to make EA look like idiots. I mean, granted they were, but it was in just such a biased way that it was just kind of like unusable.
Yeah, it just doesn't. Jesus Christ! I just I tried to talk and nothing came out. But
Oh,
yeah,
you did like the fish thing?
yeah, it's kind of hard to I don't know, argue a perspective that's just too biased to really, I don't know.
Well, that's the thing. Like, I definitely do think EA is like in the shitter for what they're doing. But the thing is, like, calling them surprise mechanics when they're definitely loot boxes. Like, they have boxes in their game that when you open them, loot comes out.
Yeah, and for people, we've talked about it on the podcast before, but say you're new, the whole reason why loot boxes aren't good because it's literally just
Gambling for kids.
9 times out of 10, kid takes parents' credit card and parents have $300 and they don't know why.
Now, I
It's-
can
It's
understand
kind of
making...
like gambling.
Yeah, really, it is. Like, I can make the case. I can see making the case for like cosmetic items. I think that's fine to have in loot boxes. But for games like FIFA, isn't like the characters you get from those boxes like not like
Yeah.
a flat level? Like they're all. It's not like a cosmetic thing. Like they're like you can get good characters from their loot boxes to build your team better.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's like a pay to win function essentially.
Yeah, pretty much, because it's obviously you have to open up packs to get players, and the only way you can open packs is if you pay for them or if you like play enough games to get the amount of coins you need to get them, which takes a while.
Uh-huh.
And then it's either I can pay like $20 to open like 50 packs, or I can play for 3 days to open like 10.
See, that's the thing. That you explained it great. That's the problem, is because they're making the actual process of doing it the legit way without paying so laborious that like it almost kind of like blindsides people, and they just say fuck it and spend money on it when they definitely don't want to, but it's just to make their experience with the game better. It's almost like making it so like you have to pay more to enjoy the game more.
Yeah, which some games I understand it. Like for example, there's a game called Warframe, which is very grindy game, and you unlock characters throughout the game, but some of them you can't get until like the very end. And the game doesn't have a lot of content towards the end game, so like you'll just get the character and you'll pretty much be done with the game, so you won't get to enjoy it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like I understand like if you're putting money towards that, but when it's like an actual function, like I need to spend money to progress in this game, or I'll have to sink in like hours upon hours to get remotely close to where I could get if I just put in $10.
Yeah, so, like exactly. Like that's the thing. Like the fact that you rationalize it, like, but I can save so much time just by dropping $10. Like that's when it becomes an issue, because then for kids, it's like, well, and I'm not going to make a case that all kids are dumb, but like, you know, kids will rationalize it differently. They'll blow all the money that they have if they think it's making them have more fun.
Yeah, I mean to be fair, when I was when I was like 16, I got my first job and I got my first check. Did you think I saved any of it?
Oh, of course not. Who saved their first check?
Exactly. All of that went towards, I'm pretty sure, like Urban Outfitters and a video game.
Mine personally was my first check was my first job at Home Goods, and it was like $100 something. I got a AAA title game, a couple like games on sale, and then I literally blew the rest on like takeout that I did not need whatsoever.
Yeah, exactly.
Takeout's a trap. Takeout should be banned.
Honestly, I agree, but
You should have to be 25 to order takeout.
yeah, honestly, because the other part of me is like, yeah, you know, I really could cook tonight and that'd be fine. But
a grinder from that place down the street sounds so much easier.
Exactly. I mean, granted, there's some times where I'm like, I just want this.
Oh yeah, of course.
But still, no, I agree. I mean, moral of the story: kids are stupid with money, and EA's taking advantage of that.
Yeah, well, it's also like it like kind of sets them up to potentially have problems with gambling in the future because it's getting introduced to them so late as well. Like that's another big thing that I completely understand why, you know, places like the UK are having, you know, a problem with it, because it's I don't want to say brainwashing kids, but it's like it's introducing them into a behavior that shouldn't be developed at such a young age.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. Like, I mean, like I can say personally, like, there's been a lot of times where, and cause not like gambling, cause I'm thinking of like CSGO gambling sites where you could gamble your skin or put in money and gamble to try and get this insanely valuable item for much less and shit like that. And the majority of people that used that were pretty young. And also the people that were like advocating for it were like YouTubers that those kids probably looked up to.
Yeah, exactly. That's another thing that I agree with. Like it's kind of like a trap because, you know, people see other people doing it that they look up to, and you know, that's maybe not that bad of a thing to do.
One thing leads to another. Next thing you know, you're in debt because little Jimmy decided to buy all the Fortnite skins.
Jeez, could you imagine like the future generation is just like buying or taking loans from loan sharks to get Fortnite skins?
Could you imagine your house gets foreclosed and you walk into the upstairs room to see your kid doing like the L dance, and then you had to break the news that he's the reason your family like you're getting a divorce and the family's falling apart.
It's hunting season.
It's hunting season. Yee!
Yeehaw! God.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
That's terrible.
Yeah, we're bad people. I think we need to end it there.
Oh, jeez. All right. Then in that case, on a final note, I would just like to say rest in peace to a YouTuber who has, as of today, been officially declared deceased. Uh, his YouTuber name was Etika. Do you happen to know his full first and last name?
I just know that his first name was Desmond. I don't remember the last name.
Well, anyways, I think it's Daniel Desmond, like Amalfa or something like that.
Yeah.
Um, he has unfortunately died. He has committed suicide. You guys may have seen the news, like he posted that pretty alarming 8-minute video on YouTube that was then taken down. And as a result, on the 19th, he was declared missing. And as of today, on the 25th, he's been officially declared dead. Very unfortunate. Rest in peace. And please, if you're having any intrusive thoughts or you feel like you're in danger to yourself, reach out to your friends, reach out to your family. There's hotlines, find a mentor. I know it's hard just to say it like that, but it sucks.
Yeah, I mean, I think when you're in a spot like that, because it's something we've been through, that it's best to surround yourself with people you can trust and people that can distract you from those thoughts. But more importantly, you want to talk to someone like a professional, like a therapist or something of that nature, where they can actually give you constructive, better advice that'll help you. I mean, I don't want to say dig yourself out of it because it's not guaranteed, but it'll definitely give you a new perspective to help you brighten up
Mm,
your day, more or less.
yeah. Very
I don't know.
unfortunate. Rest in peace, Etika.
Yeah, rest in peace.
Alrighty, folks. And on that somber note, which I'm sorry for, but I would like to at least shout out the guy. He was very entertaining, and I know he touched a lot of people in a positive way. That has been the Frying Pan Podcast, episode 34. Thank you for tuning in all the way through. And as always, we're on social media. We have a Twitter and Instagram. The Frying Pan Pod is the handle for both of those. We'd appreciate if you could give us a follow. And you are listening to us on either Podbean, Spotify, Apple Music, Stitcher, or YouTube. So thank you for doing that. We appreciate it. If you could leave a like, comment, a star rating, anything of the sort, that'd be fantastic. And any form of constructive criticism is welcome. As I always say, we do this to get better. And one of the best ways to get better is through criticism from people that listen to us. So we'd appreciate that. And shouts again to Noah for that new intro. I thought it was pretty damn good. I know what you thought, Dan. I enjoyed it.
I like it.
I like it a lot too. And on the subject of constructive criticism and or business inquiries, you can send us over an email at inthepanpodcast@gmail.com. We'll get back to you as soon as possible. It's usually Dan answering it back. I lurk on that. I see the email. I'm just like, I don't want to say anything.
I'm scared to respond.
I don't know this guy. Anyways, that has been the Frying Pan Podcast, episode 34. This is going up on Thursday, the 27th. So if you're listening to that then, thank you for staying current. And if you're listening to that in the future, past that date, thank you for coming back to this episode. We appreciate you. Have a great rest of your day. Have a great rest of your week. I've been Robert D'Onofrio.
Robert D'Onofrio, me too.
And this has been the Frying Pan Podcast. Thank you for tuning in, folks. Later, Gators.
Later, gators, wild crocodiles.
I should have hit stop recording.